Hello everybody and welcome to tutorial number 10, and we're going to go ahead and cover that caustics issue that we were having. And the crazy thing is the caustics uses a light source, and that's what I didn't realize at first. And some materials are created with the caustics in them, so it kind of does the the water sun reflection. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into that. And I do apologize, on the last video we kind of had these technical issues and didn't get to it. So we're gonna go ahead and start that. We're also going to cover real quickly too, I should point this out, we're going to do the collision MIP, which is a landscape collision optimization. We're also going to create a landscape streaming distance of 50K. That's what the Conan Exiles uses because of all the stuff that they have loaded on their map. And also we will cover the directional light, and I think that'll be it. And hopefully in the next tutorial we'll either cover the whole material, actually cutting holes in the terrain, or we'll move on to the foliage tool. I haven't decided yet. We'll figure that out. So let's go ahead and let's cut right to it, and let's get to the light source and how we can fix our caustics issue with our water so we get our sun reflections. Okay, so let me go ahead and transfer over to my main display. All right, okay, here we are. Okay, so excuse me. So we had the issue with the caustics, and the first thing we did is, if you recall, we did copy, I believe, this water scene capture. And let me see, SCEN. I'm trying to remember if I had that copied over or not. I might not have had it copied over. From what I figured out, we really don't need it. However, some maps, some of the like Hayes, he created one with the scene capture. It looks like I got rid of it. Okay, so let me go ahead and let me open up our Windows levels. I'm going to go ahead and open up my map 1.1, the section that I put some materials on. And I'm going to do 1.0 it is, I think. Yeah, we'll load that up. This is our little starting islands area. Okay, enough. If you notice too, you probably noticed that my terrain kind of changed. I was playing with some of the Conan materials in the dev kit just to see what we had options of. Now, if you recall, we put down the Landscape Master 7 instance, and we also have the choice of using what Conan Exiles, the vanilla map, currently using is, which is a cheaper material, which is the M material, M_landscape_exiled lands. Materials and stuff like that. So matter of fact, actually, I should have tried this before. I'm going to take a screen capture, and I'm going to go ahead and open up my paint program, and let me see if, yep, that should show up on screen. Paste as a new layer, and what I'm going to do is, or sorry, file, paste as a new image, edit, paste as a new image. That way you guys can actually see, and I can zoom in. So this is the Conan Exiled landscape material. Okay, that's what they're using for the vanilla base game. You can put that in if you like. The whole material, go ahead and assign the whole material here. There's a whole material. And also on the in the dev kit with the original Conan landscape, if we go there, I'm going to quickly take another screenshot of this and I'll paste that in there as well, so you can see the naming convention of that too. So let me go ahead and edit, paste as a new image. All right, let me zoom in. All right, so we have the M Landscape Master 7 instance, and then there's the M Landscape Master 7 whole material. Okay, so you can go ahead and assign that to the whole material and work with that. So it's either two you can work with. I just want to quickly point that out. So here we go, the Landscape Master 7, and then the Exile Lands cheaper version. Okay, and you can find that, believe it or not. Let me scroll over to the folder. If you go under Landscape, let me see, make sure I'm not lying to you here. It's under Landscape, I believe, and it was supposed to be cheaper materials. Materials cheap. Okay, yeah, so there you go. So that's where the Exile Lands materials are. So I was just playing around just to take a look at it and see what the difference is right here in the materials. So this is the cheaper version, so it'll run a little bit smoother. This is more of the 4K, 8K texture terrain. Okay, so it's your choice what you want to do. I was going to mess with the Exile Lands materials just for this map, but I don't know. We'll see. I might just stick to the main material and actually apply that here like so. And you don't have to worry about repainting anything. It automatically kind of assumes what you had there previously, and those two materials kind of match in some sense, but it's just cheaper to run. In other words, it doesn't take taxes it, and I think it's like a 2K texture versus a 4K texture. Okay, it reduces memory consumption. All right, so getting on to our caustics. All right, so our caustics issue. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play from here, and what we're going to try to figure out is why our caustics is not working, and I figured this out, luckily, after I played with some lighting stuff, because I was just checking out lighting, and then when I changed something in lighting, it was like, ta-da, I was like, wait a minute, oh, I remember somebody doing this before. So I actually was tinkering with an Unreal project a couple years ago, and they used the caustics, but it required the directional light to be plugged in. So I started looking at something, and lo and behold, I discovered that the ultra dynamic sky blueprint was missing something. So we'll go ahead and we're going to get that caustics issue squared out now, knocked out. That way you guys will have your water reflections underwater, and hopefully you guys got your water issues worked out as far as your static mesh at the right level, physics at the right level, and your water nav mesh at the right level. So as soon as we load in here, I hate this part when we're trying to load in a character to check things out. It's a little long in the dev kit. Well, let's see, 6 minutes. Okay, cool. So yeah, so just remember materials. They can be expensive as far as GPU rendering, memory texture, loading into memory, etc. So the more fancy the textures are, the more loads into memory. 4K textures are usually like 64 megabyte images, and 2K textures are down to like 12 megabytes. So there's a big difference when it takes memory consumption. Okay, so let's go into our water. As we go into our water, we'll go down. Now you can see that I actually have the sun reflections underwater. So you're seeing what we call the water caustics, which is the sunlight reflecting from the wave action on the surface. Okay, so now that's being played throughout the entire map like it's supposed to. Okay, so how do we fix that? All right. Well, if you remember, we copied over the water scene capture, which we don't actually need it. I have it here. Sorry, I just found it. And I have the sand capture. Now, I would go ahead and just copy it and have it here with the sand capture from the Conan Exiles map. Just leave it there. You don't have to have it, but just leave it there just in case we might need it later. I don't know. It's really bizarre. I found that when we pasted it over, it didn't do anything for us. So what I did find, though, however, is if we go to our AAA environment up here and we go down to our Ultra Dynamic Sky BP, right? If you click on it, this is what we get, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and head back to our time of day manager to get us back on ground level. But highlight your Ultra Dynamic Sky BP here. And in our details panel on the right hand side here, you go down here in the list. You notice it under the actors tab that it's highlighting in black here. Okay. Down here you see sunlight. What you need to do is you need to plug in the direction light, the sunlight. So just all you gotta do is just search to it and plug it in. And it should link to this sunlight thing here. So if we go back to Ultra Dynamic Sky, hit the drop down, you're gonna see sunlight right here. Okay. So the sunlight is right here. Just click on that, fill that in with sunlight. Leave the exponential fog out. If you copied it over from the Conan Exiles vanilla map, you can link it. However, just to give you a heads up, if you do put the exponential fog in, the thing that you're going to find is it's going to change the surface of your watercolor to like a creamy white color, and it's going to be looking really bizarre. Okay. So just to give you that heads up, that's why I have it disabled right now. I don't have it copied over because I don't want to deal with that mess. Also on our Ultra Dynamic Sky, sorry, I was just trying to get myself back in position. On our Ultra Dynamic Sky, make sure you have your moonlight plugged in and your skylight plugged in here. Like I said, exponential fog, you can plug in or unplug it. It's up to you. I just noticed that it turned my water to this milky color. And I'm also probably going to change this water out eventually, but for now I'm just going to leave it until I feel I found the right water where I get the water ripple effects. Because right now, if you notice, if we hit swimming, we're not getting the water ripple effect, and I need to find the material that actually gives us that ripple effect when you're actually swimming across the water. So right now we're not getting the ripples, we're just getting the splashes. So notice we're not getting any type of ripple when we move. So I got to figure out which material actually does that, but I ain't going to do that right now. Maybe at the end of this video we'll try to figure that out. Okay, so let me go ahead and hit Shift Escape. Okay, so on our next portion of this tutorial, we're going to go ahead and work on the landscape streaming distance, which was the 50K. So if we go up to Windows, again, and we go to Levels, and we go to World Composition, what we need to do is go ahead and hit our little plus sign. Go ahead and let's create a 50K layer, and let's call this Stream 50K, okay? And I went ahead and did one already. And what you can do is go ahead and create yourself like another NPC camps, which I've done here already, and I assign that to the 50K just to keep that 50K streaming distance there. So now you have an option of stream 75K or 50K distances with the Unreal units, okay? So that's not 50 kilometers, it's 50K Unreal units. So for example, to give you an idea, this starting player start, as we walk away from the player start, this is like say 50K, and then our 75K is a little bit further out. So as you walk from the original player start this way, that's 50K, and then this is 75K. Okay, that's just our distance in Unreal measurements. Okay, it's a little bizarre, but I think Unreal uses centimeters, I believe, and the mannequins actually. The original mannequin in Unreal, I believe, is supposed to represent a 6-foot tall human being, or a man or a woman. Okay, so just to give you that idea. So go ahead and make sure Windows levels. Oops, not modes. Windows levels. Make sure that you have your streaming distance. Set that 50K. It gives you the option. The reason why I picked 75 is because I actually have islands and they're so spread far apart, so I wanted to increase the distance to 75. However, if you have a lot of landscape, a lot of land, I'm just going to go ahead and open up a few more of my tiles here, just because, to kind of give you an example. Let me go ahead and select select all levels. Edit, select all levels. Shit. There we go. Hit load. Sorry about that. We'll load these up really quick. And like I said, it all depends on land that you have streaming in, and also all the actors that you're going to stream in. You know, all your barrels, your houses, your walls, and etc. from the environment. You got to remember all that's going to load up when you stream the level in. So like our barrel example in our level streaming distance tutorial, you notice how the barrels popped in and out from a distance. So you got to think on a massive scale, all that stuff's going to do the same thing, where it's going to load in and load out, and you got to account for all that and space it out appropriately. That way it streams in at the correct times and not the wrong times, and starts bogging down the client machine, whoever is playing the game. They don't want to be bogged down or crash their GPU or use up all their memory. Okay, so let's see here. We're almost loaded here. Just like I said, I just want to give you an example, give you an idea. So, all right, so the rest of our map's loaded. So if you notice, like the distance between that island over here, these sections here, so I might have those tiles load in at 100, while I only have these tiles load in at, like this tile here, at 50, and then these ones at 50 and 50 and 50. But then the further ones, as we go further apart, that one's farther away, so I want that to load in properly, because if you're swimming along, guess what? That's going to automatically pop in really fast, and I don't want it to pop in on the player. But if I can use a fog, exponential fog, to kind of slow that in so it looks like you're moving forward and then it appears, that makes more sense too. That's one good thing about exponential fog, is you can kind of use it to blend in things. So just like I said, just the streaming distance. Notice the distance between the islands. I might have some issues with popping in and popping out, so I want to make sure that I set my distances accordingly. So it's just going to be trial and error playing with it. I mean, you can set 30K streaming distances. You can set down to 20, 10, 5 even. 5 is like really fast. 100K. As long as you figure out what's optimized best for your game, or sorry, not your game, but your map, and it runs smooth and it doesn't cause any issues for you or for the other players that you have playing on your map. That's the key, is just trying to strategically place that stuff out from distances. So like that map, that island way over there, I don't want it really to show yet. So I might set that island up so where if I was somebody swimming out here, and then all of a sudden, boom, it pops in. Why would somebody be swimming out here? Well, I probably have a secret island out here. You never know, or underwater ruin. The Brachin Isles in the Conan stories, it's just a bunch of islands with a volcano and some natives. A lot of more pirates than anything. But I might take an imaginary approach and put some underwater ruins, some secret lost civilization out here off the Barachans, because when the oceans drank Atlantis, in the Sons of Arius, from the Conan stories, Howard, you know, all these different things. You can kind of get some imagination, and I like to take ideas from some of the paperback books that have been written over the years too, because there's some really cool stories of Conan going underwater and finding some underwater cities and things like that, and above ground cities. All right, so I digress. All right, so that's what we will do with streaming distance. So just remember, you can set up your different distances, but I just wanted to quickly go ahead and make sure that we went ahead and put a 50K streaming distance in there just in case you needed it. And I just assigned an NPC camp level to it just because I have one, just so I have one there just in case. Okay, so there's basically our map there, and I don't know why. 1-0 for 4 actors. I don't know why that's way out there. That is actually being funny. So 1-0. Let me look at that real quick. Let's see if there's some sort of problem there. Let me go ahead and unload everything. Edit. Select all levels. Unload. And 1-0. I'll take a look at that. Okay, so the other thing too, what we need to do now is we also need to cover the collision MIP setting. Okay, and what this is going to optimize our landscape as well, and the collisions for optimization purposes, so that way our map runs pretty smooth, and the LOD details and collisions load in more optimized. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that here too after I take a quick peek at this oddball, why the bounds is way out there. It's a little strange. It's got 4 actors on it. I'm trying to think what might be causing that, and I think I know. I was playing around with trying to get the sandstorm blueprint to work. And for some reason, I think the sandstorm is broken in Conan because I copied everything over, did exactly what was supposed to be set up, and the sandstorm's not working. So I was going to do the tutorial section on the sandstorm, and that failed miserably. I could not get it to operate. So I think I might have left some actors accidentally on that level while I was doing some testing. So I'll just double check it here really quick after we unload these. And yeah, the fun stuff. Sorry guys, I hate it when it gets, the dev kit is so slow. But this is pretty quick unloading considering we don't have a lot of actors. But once you start getting a lot more actors and more things on your landscape, it's going to get more complex. Load times and save times are going to take a little bit longer. Your shaders are going to start optimizing, so you're going to have to deal with that. So just to give you a heads up, this is the quickest I've actually seen maps unload. So we're almost there. 7.5, 7.6, and 7.7. Then we should be done. All right, let's see here. Getting close. All right, we're done. All right, so 1-0. Let me take a quick look at 1-0. I think it was. To find out what that was. It had 4 actors on it. View and current level only. Oh, the scene captures are over there. Why the heck did I have those over there? That's bizarre. That is strange. That should be actually on the persistent. So let me make sure. Let me go only. Let me go. Let me uncheck those real quick so that way the scene captures. That's why I couldn't see them before. Huh. Level, move selection to current level. That's weird. No wonder. But like I said, they didn't work out for me. For whatever reason, it didn't do anything for us. And once I activated the light source, the caustics, fired off and did exactly what they did. Okay, so covered that problem, and let me go to worlds here and go. Let me open up 1.4 just real quick. Yep. Okay, it's no longer stretching. 10 is no longer stretching. Okay, it's appropriate. All right. So that's one way too. You can check your bounding boxes and make sure that they're not stretching out everywhere. All right. So let me unload this again, and then we'll load up 1, 1 and 1, 0. All right. And that is really strange. I told you. 1 sec. Sorry, guys, because we're getting ready to do the next portion of this, which is, don't know why that didn't assign and change out like it was supposed to, but it's being silly. All right, save all. Make sure it saves the materials in the slots this time. It's being a little funky. All right, so now on our collision MIP setting. Okay, so what I was talking about, like level of detail for the collisions and the landscapes. Okay, so when you got a landscape open, you're gonna have to do this for all 64 tiles. So go up to your landscape, or sorry, up to your world outliner, and go to your landscape streaming proxy. Okay, right here. And you can try to do all 64 at the same time, or do like 5 or 10 at a time. Open up the landscapes and apply. So open up your landscape. You're going to see these streaming proxies in the world outliner. You're going to go down to your details panel. Okay. As you scroll down your details panel, you're going to look for collision. And down here on the collisions, I've already done mine. Go down here to your collision MIP level right here. And what this says right here, just to kind of reiterate what I was talking about, landscape LOD is to use for collision test. Higher number use less memory and process faster, but are much less accurate. Okay, so this is usually defaulted to 0. We're going to go ahead and put the number 1 in there and go ahead and assign this to all your layers. Okay, so make sure that you're set to MIP level 1. All right, so do this to all your height maps and get that taken care of. That way you get that all knocked out. So go ahead and pause the video, go ahead and do that for yourself, and I'm going to go ahead and see if there's anything else I need to cover, or we'll cover it in the next tutorial. So go ahead and pause your video and go ahead and do that. Okay, I assumed you paused and you did all that and you're ready to go. All right, and hopefully you didn't have any crashes during that process and you got everything assigned. So just double check, make sure all of your level streaming processes, or height map, sorry, have the collision map level 1 selected. Okay. All right, so now I think we covered the streaming distances. We got the water caustics working. Let's see here. I really don't want to get into the foliage tool just yet. I think we should save that for another tutorial. Yeah, we'll go ahead and save that for another tutorial. And I'm just going to quickly look at the landscape hole cutting material, and really quickly, we should be we're supposed to be able to cut holes in the material. And I'm going to see if we can do that really quickly right now. If we can't, I'm not going to go ahead and try to troubleshoot it because I don't want the tutorial to go over. So we're going to go to our landscape. So if you go to your modes, landscape, so Windows, modes, right? Landscape, which is our little mountain button here, or Shift 3. Go down to sculpt. We should go down to visibility. Now, yeah, I was wondering if that was going to happen. Okay, so if you notice on my modes panel, and I went to the visibility tool, which is where we want to cut a hole in the terrain, notice how there's this warning. It says you must add a landscape visibility mask node to your material before you can paint visibility. So I got to figure out why this is doing this, because technically Funcom has already set this up where we got the hole cutting material, we had the landscape material, and I'm wondering, now this is the master material, and there's an instance, so it automatically should have this landscape masking node. I'm going to just quickly open up the material and take a look. Yeah, here's the landscape visibility node mask. So I don't know why that's not firing off, and it should be working accordingly since it's on the master material. No, we're not going to change any changes. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and test this real quick. I'm just going to go ahead and put the master landscape material in, maybe down here on the whole material. Let me see if that changes anything. Let me switch back that out and then back in, because it does have the, yeah, it's not functioning. Okay, so let me go ahead and put that the master material. Let me put that in here in the top just to see, changing out the instance. Oh yeah, that does not work. That really messed things up. Okay, so we'll just revert back to what we had. We'll go to our master landscape instance up here. That plugs us back in. And our whole material instance number 7. Now there is the whole. I wonder if we need to do whole or instance. I'm going to do whole, and let's see what happens here. Switch this back real quick and back to visibility. Nope, still having an issue. Okay, so if we don't do the instance, do we do number 7 whole instance there? Because there's 2 of them. There's a master whole. Let's put the master whole in and see if that changes anything by swapping that and plugging this back over here. No, it's still not registering. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the instance in. Does this register? And no, still not registering. Okay, so this is where it's going to get a little crazy. Let me go ahead, and what we'll do is we'll save our height maps real quickly here. Windows, content folder. If we go to content folder, you can also do save all, and it will allow you to check mark what you want to save. I'm just going to go ahead and save these. I'm going to unload them, reopen them, and see if that fixes the current issue. That's really bizarre. That should be working off because it works on my Empire Stygia map. So let me go ahead and unload these real quick. Unload. Okay, reload them. And let's go to Windows modes. Oops. Modes real quick, and let's see if we can cut a hole. No, we still cannot cut a hole. Okay, I'll have to look at this a little bit later. I don't know what's causing that issue, so we'll get to it. That is just really bizarre. Hopefully it's something simple that I can try to figure out and fix later. Yeah, so we'll cover that in another tutorial. Probably our next tutorial will be the foliage tool. I'll work on the foliage because I think materials can be a problem and an issue, and they're a little bit complex. So I'm gonna have to take some time to deal with that one and figure out, okay, what's going on, why is this not working, and see what we can do from there. Okay, so I do apologize that we can't cut the hole, so we'll do that later. Without further ado, guys, thank you guys for subscribing to the tutorial so far. I do appreciate that. Yeah, so I do appreciate that, you guys hanging out and learning from the tutorials. Let me know if there's anything better I can do, or if I might have missed something, or you feel maybe you're shaky and not sure, and I can recover it a little bit for you if needed, a little bit more in depth. But hopefully so far it's all making sense. I try to keep it very layman terms. That way it's really simple to understand. And that's not all this technical jargon, because believe it or not, I read the technical jargon and it blows my mind. It's like, why can't we just keep it simple, stupid? KISS is the acronym I like to use. But without further ado, guys, once again, thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing to my Patreon and following the video series. And have a good day, good night. Stay frosty, stay sharp, stay creative, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.